In order to understand what Sharia is, I want to explain the root of the Arabic word. And if we understand the root of the Arabic word, you would come to a realization that Sharia law and United States Constitution are so in compliance with one another. For instance, many people say Islamic law does this and this and this and this. Yes, if you're quoting from medieval century, or you're quoting from 700 years ago or 800 years ago, kind of like we're saying, look at the Constitution of Oklahoma, slavery is allowed. Well, it was a law at one time, and the will of the people was slavery at one time. But that, as people have progressed, as people have became aware of their surrounding, as people became aware of what justice is and so on and so forth, all those laws were changed. So it's like me, if I'm going to look at Sharia law and says, look, Sharia law says so and so, and you know, you just broke the definition of Sharia law, because Sharia law addresses people's needs, cultures, norms. If I'm to describe Sharia law in one sentence, it is to prevent harm and bring benefit to people. And this is what is agreed upon all the Muslim scholars, that Sharia law is to prevent harm and bring societal good. So whatever Sharia law is, that for instance, if we look at the United States Constitution, I have a copy of it with me here. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain. So the United States Constitution gives us 6 principles. Now the law comes to address those 6 principles. How can we form a more perfect union? How can we establish justice? How can we ensure domestic tranquility? And so on and so forth. Islamic law is just like that. The 95% of Islamic law that's interchangeable and changeable with time, there's only 5% of Islamic law that's fixed. Even the 5% of Islamic law that is fixed, sometimes depending on the situation, depending on the circumstances, for example, Islamic law encompasses a lot of things. It is, as I said, for an individual, for a community. It encompasses our everyday living. So for instance, as a Muslim, I'm supposed to pray 5 times a day, and that is part of the Islamic tradition. Now I'm in Tulsa, Oklahoma. This becomes 3 times a day. So even that 5% that is fixed is changeable. Now the 95% that takes people culture into accommodations, that takes people needs, people wants, and so on and so forth, that is 95% changeable. And if you look at Islamic law, year after year it changed and it changed in order to address the principle of Islamic law. The principle of Islamic law is to safeguard the law, which is the highest, the faith of people, to safeguard life, to safeguard progeny and family, to safeguard wealth, and to safeguard knowledge. And if you look at the 6th principle of the United States Constitution and the 6th principle of the Islamic law, you would say they're very, very, very interchangeable and very compatible. So my agenda, my secret agenda, is the United States Constitution. To uphold the United States Constitution, a document that all of us have agreed to abide by. And when I see this document being violated, I really gonna scream aloud.